Well, I'm finally back out here after cleaning up the garage, ready to assemble this fuel cell. I got this off Amazon. There'll be a link in the description. This is going to be used for diesel for my tractor specifically. This is a 30 gallon diesel container. I like this one a lot. It's round, but most of them are square. I think, I don't know, but I think that this will hold up a little bit better. If I smash something into it, it should kind of hold its shape a little better, I suspect. This one has wheels, it has the fuel cap and the fuel port, it has the pump down port with the sword that goes all the way down to the bottom, a couple inches off the bottom. It's got a vent so it doesn't overpressurize with a built-in fuel gauge. So there's a float assembly inside the tank that there will be a little adapter on the top here. Came with a handle and the wheels. So we're going to get this stuff all put together. We'll start off with the wheels and get it up off the ground a little bit. Well, that rolls pretty nice. Pretty happy with that. So far, we put the wheels on with no problem at all. Now we have drilled out the holes for the handle. So we've got the fill cap here, and we've got the cap for the fill. It comes with a little strainer basket that drops right down inside. And then the cap should just thread right on. Cap installed. You can see the needle inside of here moves up and down. And you can hear the float banging around inside the tank. So this came with a huge roll of Teflon tape. I'm going to go ahead and install Teflon that it came with. So, not super thrilled with that. I wish this was maybe over here more, or the float wouldn't work right. So this is pretty flimsy plastic. I just see this getting hit. In fact, when I add the rings to the bottom, I may actually add a piece of metal to come up the side here to protect this. We'll see. So what we're going to install now is a guard slash hook for the fuel gauge on this side. We're going to install weld-on D-rings, small ones, so that when I transport this, I can securely tie it down. So I want to put four of these rings on here so that I'm able to use these to tie this down in my truck or my trailer. So what I've got here is a piece of paper. I'm going to wrap this around the tank. Grab a Sharpie. So that is the distance all the way around the tank. So by folding this in half, and then in half again, and those folds, and then the seam where it comes together, are now the new marks for paint removal to support installation of my D-rings. So I'm going to go ahead and not bore you guys. I'm going to go ahead and clean the paint off of the drum, get the D-rings prepped, and then we'll bring you back when I'm ready to weld. So this is my goal, to have 4 of these 90 degrees apart. So this being plastic and aluminum, I want to protect it. I'm going to weld on this metal guard right here. That way if something comes by or something hits this or is set down on here, it will hit this metal guard before it hits this gauge. Well, it's time for a little paint. I put it all together. We looked at what it looked like. I welded on the rings to tie it down with. I welded on the protective edge to protect the gas gauge itself. And then I realized that it was going to be a pain in the butt to tape all that stuff off and keep it from getting paint on. So I just took it all back off again. I saved you guys the hassle of watching all that. I'm going to go ahead and throw a cover over these wheels real quick. Save myself a little bit of a hassle in the long run. Then we're going to throw some paint on there. This is Kubota orange, well, tractor and implement paint to match OEM. Color matched for rust resistant, fade resistant, new Kubota orange, 5339, TAC 27. I ordered this stuff off Amazon years and years ago. There was a case of 12 of them, and I'm down to 4, I think. Well, that's the first coat. That's a pretty heavy first coat. Most of the areas where I welded, I'm going to have to come back and sand them out and do another coat of orange. So it looks like it came out pretty well. Pretty happy with that. This is the next day, so this has been drying overnight. My original plan was not to paint the whole thing orange, but in order to make the paint look right, I needed to paint it orange. So we added the rings for tie downs. And we added the protective riser over the top of the fill port. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the masking tape, and we're going to put it back together again. So you guys saw me put this thing together, and I decided to hold off on using it until after I installed a fuel filter on top. So I ordered a fuel filter off of Amazon. This is for use with gasoline and diesel fuel. Water block element blocks water from penetrating the filter and entering the fuel system. 150 PSI, see-through plastic bowl, alcohol, impact resistant, heavy duty zinc coating, element filter, microscopic contaminants down to 17 microns. So on Amazon, and we're gonna get this baby installed. So that's what it looks like. This is 1-inch MPT threads, and we're gonna get this baby mounted kind of like right about here, maybe. This is aluminum, and it's painted with this silver paint. I'm going to attempt to tap this upside down to stop any contaminants from getting into the pump, because I don't want to disassemble this seal if I don't have to. So we're going to go ahead and try and get this started by hand. pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and run it through there one more time, just to clean up any little edges, but I think we're pretty good. Well, we're continuing on with assembly of the pump and filter to my diesel fuel container. We have the hose, which I need to Teflon tape and reinstall this hose, which is going to be kind of a trick with the hose over the top, but that's okay. It's a better position for the filter. The filter is now away from the outside edge where it could get banged or smashed into or damaged or broke. It also puts this fuel cover over the top of the drum so I can lay out a piece of plastic and some Kim wipes or rags to catch any diesel when I have to switch this filter element out. The valve is right here. It's a little close, but it's not bad. It still operates. So we can open and close that valve as necessary. The hand crank is operational off to the side. And it is over the top of the tire, so that is the protection I was looking for there. The hose, I suspect, will more than likely get left in kind of this position. Well, we hit low suction. So it seems to work pretty well. It's a lot better than fighting a gas can up there. Obviously this is the first time I've used it. I did prime the filter because it wasn't sucking originally, so I took the canister housing off and filled that with diesel, lifted it up slowly so that the diesel would soak into the filter. Got that installed. I only put 5 gallons of diesel inside this container. I wanted to test it out. At 5 gallons, I bet you there's at least 1.5 gallons down in the bottom that you need to prime it with. So now that I know it works pretty well, I'm going to go ahead and get it all filled up all the way to the top, 35 gallons. suspect this will be quite a bit of time savings down the road. It is significantly more convenient to do this than using gas cans. Getting a gas can up there and standing there and balancing and trying to pour it in there and not mess everything up and spill diesel everywhere is a pain in the butt. This seems to work pretty well. The only thing I am definitely going to do is put some kind of clamp on a little nozzle holder for the nozzle, so that the diesel will drip and sit in the bottom of that versus dripping on the floor or on the container. But overall, pretty happy with it. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the fuel cell video. I bought the fuel cell on Amazon. It did not come with everything on here. Obviously, as you guys saw, I added quite a few things to it. The filter was the big one. I wanted to add the filter before I put fuel inside of it. Working with diesel would be a pain in the butt. So doing this before you add diesel is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. This is a different hose. This is a 3/4 inch fuel hose that I ordered on Amazon. The filter I ordered on Amazon. Most of the fittings I ordered on Amazon, I didn't put a shutoff valve for transportation reasons. It does come with the fuel cap, fuel gauge, which is kind of nice. I also added the D-rings, which the paint had stuck that one down and hadn't messed with it. But I added the D-rings for tying it down the back of my truck if I need to transport it or to my trailer. I added a protective steel rod to protect the fuel gauge in case something bangs on this side. It'll hit that before it hits this. I added the universal swivel to the end of the fuel hose. That's to keep it inside the tractor. This is a water and particulate filter. I did have to prime the filter, so I filled the housing up with diesel and then put it up there slowly and let the diesel soak into the filter. Definitely seemed to make it work significantly better. Overall, really happy with it. I definitely like the wheels. The size is good for my application. The paint wasn't necessary, but I did paint it because I had ground off some of the paint in order to weld on some D-rings and the protective cover. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. I highly recommend a fuel station like this. I've had my tractor for almost 5 years now, 4 years, something like that. And I should have done this a long time ago. Dealing with those 5-gallon diesel gas cans, pouring them into the top of the tractor, getting diesel fuel everywhere, it's a pain in the butt. This definitely was an upgrade for me, and I'm really glad I went ahead and did this. It did cost me more in the long run than I anticipated. The fittings, the fuel filter, having to get the tap to tap out the pump to fit the fittings, the hose, it added up, and I'll make sure I put the links in the description for all this stuff. But I highly recommend it. If you own a tractor, this is definitely the way to go. In any case, hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely hit that subscribe button. That always helps me out in the long run. Maybe check out some of these other videos. I'll have my tractor series of videos down here and then the garage series of videos also. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you got something out of it. Till the next time.